Hi, welcome to Make It with Mod Podge. My name's Cathie and today I have a really fun beginner project to share with you. I'm going to be creating these beautiful journals, and I'm using composition notebooks and satin Mod Podge for this project. This is so fun. For this project, I'm using a stack of papers. I like using this if you're trying to create a whole bunch of things to create like a coordinated look. They usually have smaller images, oversized images, all sorts of fun papers to work with. You can also use old greeting cards, wrapping paper, any scrapbook paper will work for this. You can see I've layered it up. I've added gems, even some ribbons. You can make these miniature ones, tie them up with a bow. They make awesome gifts. This time of year, everybody is starting their journals and their planners. So let's start the year off right with some beautiful notebooks. I'm using composition books, large and small. If they have a slick finish, you might need to sand them with light sandpaper first. I love using these paper packs for projects like this, especially if I'm giving us gifts. Look at all of the different prints and the different sizes of paper you can get. You can alter your finished designs with ribbons and even gems like I did here, and tie them up and they make adorable gifts. The first thing you're going to do is use a pencil to mark off the cover of your book. Now for this one, I'm leaving the black fabric there on the binding, but you could go over the binding if you wanted to. Then you're just going to cut that out. And next you can cut out any other additional elements like this little paper that I'm going to add. I'm using Mod Podge satin for this. I like to put a little piece of wax paper right underneath that front cover in case any of my Mod Podge seeps out. That way I won't glue my pages together. Then I'm just going to go ahead and add my Mod Podge directly to my paper. I'm doing a nice even coat, but I'm really making sure I get those edges good. Now remember, if your composition book has a slick cover, you will need to give it a light sanding first. This cover had a pretty matte finish, so my paper was fine to go down, but if it was slick, you would definitely need to rough the surface up first. Then you're just going to place that down onto the composition book. And this works on spirals, all different kinds of notebooks. I'm smoothing with my fingers to remove air bubbles, and you can see I'm really working them from the center out. Go ahead and make sure you get all of your edges down too. Then you can layer up any more elements that you want. For this design, I'm using that little paper cutout, and I'm just collaging it right on top, adding more Mod Podge and then placing it down. I'm not doing a top coat on this notebook because I don't really need it, but if you wanted something to be a little bit more durable, you could add a top coat of Mod Podge. To finish it off, I'm going to add some gems. I'm just grabbing some gems from my little collection. I'm using that same Mod Podge, adding a dot of glue with it, and then I'm just going to place my gems right into the Mod Podge, and those will really securely glue down. For that edge, I'm going to add some ribbon trim. This is just some ribbons that I had on hand. I love this little antique lace look with this print. So go ahead and glue that down. And look at how cute these turn out. So easy with just a couple of pieces of scrapbook paper. Now for those little notebooks, you can do lots of different designs too. For the little ones, I'm just going to cut out one of those images, and I'm not going edge to edge. I'm leaving a little bit of that border, or you can do a full background and add a piece on top. So it's just whatever your preference is. Just smoothing and pressing down and then waiting for it to dry. Look how cute these turn out. Perfect little mini gifts. So for these designs, I use these vintage looking papers, but of course you can make these in any theme. You want to make these for teens, grab some teen papers. These are so fun and easy to do, and they do make great gifts. We've got Mother's Day coming up, all that teacher appreciation. You can create journals and notebooks for anyone. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll be back here next week with another fun project to share with you. And until then, have a super crafty week.